Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Broke TV 123. I'm your host, Rome, and today we'll be talking about a couple different things. I don't know. So, thanks for joining me. Um, so I know it's been a little bit since I've actually made a video, and uh, so here's what's been going on with me. I know there's probably a lot of people who are wondering. I don't know. So I have been gathering up a bunch of gathering up a bunch of stuff to take to the flea market and sell, and usually here, as long as the weather's good, I go out to 311 flea market in Archdale. I believe it's in Archdale. Pretty sure it is. Anyway, you just look it up. 311 Archdale. It's one of the best here in North Carolina. It's one of the best flea markets that I've actually been to and set up and sold at, and all that stuff. Um, I just wish I had money to actually go buy the stuff, but I don't. So I'm having to sell a bunch of stuff. So today's Friday. Tomorrow I will be going out there again. It's supposed to be nice and sunny, 74 degrees. I mean, dude, you can't ask for a more perfect, day. I mean, yeah. so, um, so like I said, I'm going to talk about a couple different things. So don't leave quite yet. Um, so flea markets, a lot of people ask me, hey, what do you sell? How do you sell? Um, I've had people say, hey man, I've tried to sell stuff, and it's like nobody's got any money. People have money. They do. I've seen it, right? So you always have that typical person, usually an old man. It's that, it's that old dude that comes up and he's either a a vendor himself, or he's either that, or he's like just a lost soul, whatever. He just likes going to flea markets. He's been going to them for 25 years or whatever. Anyway, some people just like to get out, just like to get out and go to flea markets, yard sales, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, you see that typical guy, and he always comes up and he's like, so you got $10 on something. He's like, oh, you take $2 for it. So you're like, okay, yeah. And then he whips out like the big wad of 20s and hundreds, and all that. And it's like, dude, get out of here. So that's one thing right there. So people have money, but it's like a lot of them get them in their head that they just want to go to a flea market just to spend like a couple dollars or 50 cents or whatever, and I wish that they would understand that not all of us dealers out there are like that. You know, we're out there to sell stuff, right? To make money, to pay bills. So yeah, so if you're a person who sets up at flea markets and stuff like that and yard sales, don't give in to like, oh man, the economy's bad, nobody's got any money or anything like that. No, don't give into that. That's not true at all. Like I said, I've seen firsthand, not just because that one dude. I'm just saying, like, I've seen firsthand. I know how people think. I know how they work. I'm a people watcher, right? So I these people that come up to my tables and stuff like that, sometimes I see the same people. I'm like, hey man, you're back again, huh? You know, and they look at me kind of like, do I know you? Yeah, yeah. You were here last 2 or 3 times. So, it's like, dude, who you trying to fool? I keep getting this old man. He comes up he always wants marbles because he lost his marbles. So I'm like, dude, I ain't got no freaking marbles, man. I do. I do have some marbles, but I don't put them out for sale or whatever. Like, dude, you can go buy you can go to Cracker Barrel. Okay, you can buy like a bag of marbles for like $5. Get out of here. I tell you, man, I've seen it all. I'm pretty sure I've seen it all. Oh my gosh. You always have that one adult that comes up. It's usually a guy. He comes up with his autistic kid. Now, nothing against autistic kids or anything like that. I think I'm a little bit that way anyway, with ADHD or whatever, ADD, whatever. Anyway, I was in LD class when I was a kid. But anyway, but yeah, you see that a lot. I'm like, first couple times I was kind of like, is that the same guy and the same kid? And then like a couple more times later, I'm like, okay, this is a simulation. We live in a matrix. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? This is something weird going on. So yeah. So yeah, that was another thing I wanted to touch on, the matrix and the simulation and all that. The other day I asked my mom, I was talking about simulation, and she's like, what's simulation? Or I was like, do you know what a simulation is? And he's like, I ain't never heard that before. Like, dude, you've been on this earth 90 some years. You ain't never heard the word simulation? Come on. Anyway. So anyway, I've got like a ton of stuff that I basically keep taking to sell. And it's like it gets a little nibble here and there every time I go. I'll sell just a little bit, whatever. Now, I have some, but I don't have a lot of your typical flea market yard sale stuff. Like I want 50 cents for that, dollar for that. No, like my stuff is good quality stuff. Most of it is. I do have a little bit that mom gave me to sell. She's like, here, try sell this. If you can get $1 each, whatever. I'm like, okay. But most of the stuff I have is, not like I have comic books, and I have old, like, hot rod magazines and import magazines, to I have I hopefully I'll be bringing some NASCAR memorabilia stuff, like trading cards and actual, the Matchbox cars, stuff like that. I even have like some Hot Wheels, you know. But people, they try to take advantage of you. Once again, I watch people. I see how they are. I learn people, right? So I pay close attention to that, and I try not to let anybody take advantage of me. Don't If you set your stuff up and you got a price on it, don't let people take advantage of you. You know, if that's what you want for it, stick to it. Like, hey, I want $5 for that. Stick to that, no matter what. Now I can understand, like, hey, you're desperate, you need money, okay? But if you sell that $5 part for $1, you done screwed yourself. Okay. So you got to stick to your guns. Another thing I tell people, and apparently I don't know if people are copying me or what, but whatever, it's fine. But what I do is I'll tell somebody, look, hey, that's $5, or the more you buy, the more I'll make you a deal, right? Buy in bulk, right? So that's what I do. Okay. And it tends to work 90% of the time, right? Um, you got a lot of vendors I will tell you this: if you get out there early, real freaking early, the only people that you're probably going to get are vendors. Okay, because what they're going to do is they're going to buy your stuff. They're going to go walk right back over to their table and resell it for twice as much or more. Okay, so uh, I used to look at that a different way. Okay, I invite anybody to come to my table, whatever. I don't care who you are. Money talks, and that's it, right? So I have vendors all the time coming up to my table. Why? Because I have some good stuff. I do, but I'm not going to bow down to them. I'm not going to be like, yeah, man, I'll give you that, $20 part for $2. No, go away, go away. So, um, other stuff that I have, uh, is I have a couple car parts, stuff like that, old car parts, tools. Man, I tell you what, here's how here's how to make a killing if you can do it. So I have like just a little carry around bag of tools, right? Or actually, no, I don't have that bag anymore. I sold it to somebody because he bought a lot of tools from me. And I was like, here's a bag, you know. And so when it comes to, and I've only seen this, when it comes to Hispanics and Arabics, they love those tools, those dollar tools. You're not saying like a screwdriver, dollar, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now, yes, you can go to the Dollar Tree and buy dollar tools. You can. There's a whole freaking wall of them. There's probably an 8-foot section in there, you know. But they jump all over that, you know. I am actually I'm overwhelmed with screwdrivers, flatheads and Phillips and stuff like that. Over the years, Dad has just gone nuts and bought tons of them, and so have I. I mean, I got no room to complain about that. But I've decided, to go through them, the ones that are just old and just whatever, worthless, just throw them in the bag, get rid of them. So I've done really well on selling those, but like I said, I only sell them for $1 a piece. So people jump all over that. They're going to jump all over that because that's how people are when they go to flea market or yard sale. They only want to spend, even though they have money, they only want to spend $1 here, $1 there, 50 cents, 25 cents. The old people, when I say old, I mean like old, 70s, 80s years old. They are still stuck in the past, and all they want to do is spend $1 or 50 cents or a quarter. So, yeah. So when you see them coming, just have that in the back of your mind. That like, yeah, they're only going to spend a 50 cents or $1, whatever. Now you might luck out. I have had maybe a handful of times old people come up and they're looking to buy something for their grandson or their granddaughter. Okay. So you'd be like, well, here you go. I mean, this is something that they would like, early birthday gift, early Christmas gift, whatever. This is something that they can treasure. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for something that their grandchildren can treasure, put away for a while, whatever. So like I had this nice couple come up, and they had this little girl with them. I mean, she was probably like 10 years old or something, and they introduced her into comic books that I have, and I was like, are you collecting? Obviously, she was, and she's like, yeah. I was like, well, um, I got great ones to collect. No, I don't have expensive comic books. I don't have those ones that are like $10,000 and whatever, blah, 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 blah. My oldest comic book, if it's still in there, is a 1963 World's Finest, Superman, DC, all that. And so, yeah, I got, mostly 70s and 80s, and they're great comic books. They're all bagged and boarded. Most of them are bagged and boarded. I do have a small box I sell like for $1, which I probably shouldn't do that. Because looking at some of them, I was kind of like, they might be a little bit worth more than that. But anyway, most of them are modern. But most of my comic books, I get, I sell them for like 5 of them for $20. It's a pretty good deal on stuff like that old and stuff. So good collector's items. I have old trains. I have 2 old trains that date back to probably the 40s or 50s, something like that. People look at them. Some people want them, but my asking price on them is one of them's $200, one's $100. But you got to think they're like super antique. They're beyond vintage. They're antique. So old, really cool. I think they're like the kinds of ones you put around the Christmas tree to go around the bottom, like back in the day. So, let's see. I have other stuff. I have a game console. I'm not going to say what it is, but I have a old game console from the 80s. Is 80s or 90s? I think it might have been the 90s. Anyway, every time I ain't sold it yet. Every time I put it out. Okay, so first of all, you go online to buy this, it's like $150 plus shipping. Okay, so I put on there $100, right? Not trying to rip anybody off. I'm trying to undercut everything you see. So I'm kind of like, okay, $100 then. There it is. And man, you wouldn't believe the people that would flock to this thing. Doesn't come in a box or anything. It's got one controller. It's got a little bit of extras to it. And man, they're just all over this thing. And not one person wants to pay. I had a person offer me $80. And I turned away. I was like, no, can't do it, man. $100. Although I probably could have taken it. I don't know. But it will be back out again this tomorrow when I go. And you know what I need? I need a glass case for it. I need a glass box to put put it in there and everything. And just be like, okay, there you go. There's your, and then bump it up to about 120 because that's how it's going to cost me $20 just to have a case for it. But anyway, that's just to give y'all a heads up. Like game consoles, dude, if you ask the right price, they'll sell like hotcakes. Yeah, you can go buy a ton of them on Marketplace. They're always listed on there. There's tons of different ones on there, and people don't want nothing for them. Seems like. And shoot, if I had the money, I'd go buy every darn one of them and just have me a little retro store or whatever. That's one thing I need to do is I need to, I kind of, I'm not going to say I wish, even though I just did, but the W word, I'm not going to say that, but I would like to have, I've always wanted my own store. Just, a little place, nothing extravagant or anything, but I could set up in there like all my stuff. I have, one of the things I have is my original Legos. You've probably heard me talk about this a million times. Um, I might have a buyer tomorrow. If I wanted to sell them today, I could, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't get what I want for them. That's the only problem. I had a guy hit me up yesterday, and he offered me over. It was over $1,000, right? So basically, what I have is one of those 28-gallon jug. I call it a bathtub. It's a tote. It's a 28-gallon tote, plumb full of my original Legos when I was a kid. Yeah, my very first one's in there, 1984, I think it was, something like that. And that's my cat Bo. Y'all know Bo. Hey Bo. What's up, buddy? Sorry. But anyway, so I have the original minifigures, the original instructions. Hey buddy. Even the pamphlets that came with, you always get that pamphlet. Y'all check out the video on I have a video on here that's showing our $10,000 collection of Legos is between me and my brother. And it's insane. Like, it's all the original Legos, stuff like that. I had the guy yesterday that offered me over $1,000 for just that one tote. He asked me, by the way, there's 29 sets in there, supposed to be 29 sets. I don't remember throwing away. I never threw away my Legos. Okay, period. But anyway, he was like, do you have like all the instructions for those 29 sets or whatever and all this stuff? And I was like, dude, I have no idea. I was like, it's supposed to be in there. I mean, but I'm not going to go through every single one of those. I did the math. By the way, everything's separated by color, by minifigure, by weapon, by whatever they can wear, all that. It's all separated in little plastic Ziploc bags. Okay. And so I did the math yesterday, actually. And I thought about, how long would it take me to go through and build every single set in there? 29 sets. So my guess, it would take me a day per set, because I'd have to go through every colored bag and find every single piece, and then put it all together and everything. So that would take a while. At first, I was like, man, it's going to take me a year to do that. Now with the $10,000 set, all of them, a $10,000 set of Legos, that would take me a year. Dude, I have no idea what's in. Well, I have a couple ideas of what's in there. I do have the monorail, the one that everybody wanted. Your parents were rich, you had one. That was how that worked out. Why you limping? Huh? Why you limping, buddy? Are you okay? My cat's limping. You okay, bud? I think I need to trim his nails. Maybe he's walking on his nails. He's like, not that dramatic though. He's all right. He's a good boy. Anyway, so tomorrow I will take that 28-gallon of Legos out. I take it every time I go. Some people look at it. At least one person looks at it every single time. This past time, I had a guy say that his son collects them. Like, he's a real collector. No BS. He's spot on, big time collector. And I was like, well, it's $2,000. I mean, he took pictures, of it and everything. and I was, he said, will you be back out here next week? And I was like, yeah, most likely. Yeah. As long as the weather's good. So he might buy them. I might have to say goodbye to my original Legos. I hate to sell them, but when you got to pay bills, paying bills, this is the only reason why I do flea markets, yard sales, is to pay bills. That's it. It really sucks, paying bills. The taxes, land tax is ridiculous. We paid $1,700 land tax. What in the world? I remember when it was like $600. And what they're going to do is they're going to keep rising that tax every year. It's going to go up. You can forget about it going down. If I had $1 million to put on that bet, I would win. It'll go up every year. And then finally, it's going to push people out of their homes. Either that or the people, they're just going to be like, screw it, I ain't going to pay it. And then it'll be a giant domino effect is what it is. It's lining up for a giant domino effect. It's what's going to happen is so the people they're going to stay in their homes. They're not going to pay them land tax. And then the next thing you know, they're going to get a knock on the door and the IRS is going to come for them. And they're going to be like, sorry, I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. I paid for this home. It's paid off, and then there's going to be an all out war. I mean, right? See, he knows. But anyway, but that's sad. I recently watched the town hall thing about the raising of the land tax and everything. We got ours in the mail. Well, let me put it like this. It was very sad. It was very sad to watch it. If I was a lawmaker or whatever, I'd be like, man, something's got to change. But then again, people are evil. But this old lady, she stood up. She's like, I'm on a fixed income. This old lady, when I say old lady, I mean, she doesn't work anymore. She's at the age where she's like, close to 80 years old or whatever, and she's sitting there she's like, I got my new, tax thing in showing what the price is or is going to be or whatever, it's like they're trying to trick us. It's like they're trying to say, hey, the land tax is showing that your house or your property or whatever. Oh man, it's gone up 50%. Man, you'll get a bunch of money if you sell that house. So like mine was 150,000, I think, and it went up to 260,000 or something like that. And this old lady, hers was like the same way, right? It went up like that much or whatever. And she was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to pay this. And when it comes to these older people, they're at a loss, So what they're doing, whether it be the government or whoever, what they are doing is sorry, I got a car out there for sale and I got people stopping in or whatever. Anyway, so what they're doing is they're making it seem like it's a good thing when it's not. And I mean, yeah, if I was selling my property, my house and everything, oh yeah, $260,000. So that's the value. All right, cool. Get to sell my house, get that. But I'm not, you know. Yeah, people always like dropping off little things in our mailbox. I know y'all get them all the time. They sit there. Oh man, we want to buy your house and everything. So it's like a catch-22, right? So it sounds like a great thing or whatever, but then again, what they're going to come in here and do is they're going to tear your house down. Okay, they're going to demolish everything, and they're going to put up giant data centers, right? And then they're going to build apartments and all this crap and everything. They're doing this because they want us to be like mice, right? They want us to. It's all about control. It's all about control and money, right? That's what it is. This is the truth of it. Okay, a lot of people don't see this. Okay, but this is the truth. Okay, a lot of people that are watching this have brains. Okay, y'all people that are watching this know exactly where I'm going, know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I am not stupid. Okay, and neither are y'all. Okay, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's sad. It's very sad. Um, you know, we the people need to be left alone. Okay, it's bullying. That's what it is. It's 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 basically that's what it is. They're bullying the crap out of us. Um, it's like they want a war. You know, and I think what it boils down to is overpopulation. Boom, nail on the head. So what happens with overpopulation? Well, it's a big chain reaction. It's a domino effect. Uh you run out of food, you know, you run out of space, although it'd take a while to run out of space. This planet's huge. In a way, I wish that I could move to another country. I was talking to my brother one time about this. This is a while back, and I'm just like, man, you know, I hope that we don't have to move out of this country and move to another country or whatever. And he basically said, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And he and I we kind of we think alike, a lot. Well, we are brothers, but he's a white collar, I'm blue collar, but still we come together in the middle, and you know we really think alike and a lot, and it's just, I mean, the conversations that we have. I tried to do a podcast with him one time, and it didn't turn out that good, so I didn't post anything. Um, but he and I, you should hear us, watch us converse, um, about all this stuff, and try to figure out, what can we do? What can we do? Um, it's like, trying to. We've always been trying to come up with a way to make money, like on the side, just doing, whatever. Here lately, I thought about doing like a food trailer, not a food truck, but a food trailer or food cart, like a hot dog cart or something like that. Dude, them dudes make bank. They make great, you know. Um, I've looked into a lot of it. Recently had somebody tell me not to do it. Told me to stay away from meat. And I was like, you know what? What's up with that? And they said because of the health department. They said it would cost. You run into so much crap and everything. Well, one thing, the hardest thing about it, believe it or not, is finding a commissary. In other words, a legit place to store your food. Right? Can't store it at your house, your home. Can't do it. It's got to be a licensed place. Right? Now, here in North Carolina, I don't know if you can get a license for your home. I don't think that's possible. I don't know for a fact. If y'all know, let me know in the comments. But anyway, that was something that I looked into. And I swore up and down, I would never work in the food industry ever. Several reasons why. One, I love hot dogs, as you can tell. So, so, I do. I love a good hot dog. Go to Cookout, get a hot dog all the way. Boom, done. Great. I love them, and among their other food. So, and I've kind of asked myself, okay, do I want to freaking sell hot dogs every day, all day, or whatever, you know? And I'm kind of like, man, if I sit there and smell one freaking more hot dog, I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna be like, I hate hot dogs, and I don't want to be that way, right? Now, one thing I did think about is just owning a food cart or food trailer. Let somebody else run it, right? So maybe that could be a possibility. Now, as far as the permits and all that kind of stuff, altogether, you're probably going to be paying anywhere from $500 to $1,000 in North Carolina, Guilford County. For what I know, $500 to $1,000 a year. That's a yearly thing. Anybody working in the establishment has to be safety approved. That's like I don't know how long the class is, maybe a couple days or something like that. You got to take that. Everything adds up. Boom, 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 boom. Where you get your food, from, Costco or Sam's or fresh food market, whatever. I don't know, something, and believe me, I mean, I've thought about all this. I've done a lot of research. The only thing I haven't done, I haven't gone to the health department to talk to anybody there, to see what, because it's different everywhere you go in the United States or whatever. It's different, seems like. So here in Guilford County, hey, if I wanted to open up a food cart, selling hot dogs, what do I have to do? Now I have watched I watched a video. By the way, I called the health department several days ago, and they never returned my freaking phone call. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe they're just busy as crap. They have a lot of food trucks to inspect. So yeah. And it seems like you only deal with one person. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, so, but yeah, that one thing, that commissary, which probably ain't that big of a deal, but you got to find some kind of place to store your food, and it just bugs the crap out of me. I'm kind of like, man, why can't I just store it in my home? Got a deep freezer, throw it in there, done. But there's just like this strict law or whatever, something. But that's one of the things that I need to go to the health department, talk to them about. I want to get it. That's what you do. That's the first place you go to get everything straightened out. That's what I've been told. Now, there's other things that I could sell that I don't have to have the health department involved. There's like other foods. When it comes to meat, the health department is going to be involved. Okay. Um, as far as other things, I don't know 100%, but I do know that you got to go through agriculture, stuff like that. Um, I had somebody tell me to maybe look into doing kettle corn, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, maybe we'll see. I don't know. Because I mean, I heard that's like a big thing. Now it's not all what I like; it's what the consumer likes, right? So that's what you kind of have to put aside, right? Um, you just yeah, it's like me and coffee. Now, for all you coffee drinkers out there, please mute the channel right now. I don't drink coffee. Can't stand it. Can't stand the smell of it. I can't stand to hear it being made. It drives me bonkers. It's just my thing. It's probably a good thing because, dude, if I liked it, I'd be at was it Starbucks? I'd be at that place every day because I heard they got some good stuff. But I just can't stand it. Can't stand to smell it. Can't stand to taste it. It's blah. But if I were to own a food truck or whatever, it'd be nothing but coffee. Just, I mean, I would own it. I wouldn't work at it, obviously. But I'd just be like, look, this is something that I hate, but it makes a ton of money. Boom. So, down at the 311 flea market, there's a lot of food trucks there. That's one thing I need to look into and see what they charge to, like, if I wanted to set up a food truck or food cart there, see what they charge, whatever, a day. I bet you it ain't no $10 because it's $10 for a table to set up there outside, which is great, by the way. Lexington Flea Market only charges $7. So, but anyway, but yeah, I bet it ain't no $10 to set up a food truck. I bet it's $100. What you want to bet? Anyway, that's something that I've looked into and will continue to look further into it because I want to do something, right? I get that itch, man. I'm like I want to do. I'm looking for that next chapter in my life, to get off my butt and do something, So I ain't got that much time to live. So, I just want to do something, man, I'm trying to sell a car right now. And, that's something that I try to do on the side or whatever. If I sell it, then I'll take some of that money and invest it into doing something. Now, when it comes to, I saw a guy, he said that he invested 20 grand in a hot dog cart. Why? Several years later, it pays off. Okay. But 20 grand? Okay. So these people, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. If some of the people that know me know my way of thinking and how, doing stuff, not everybody knows exactly how I think. I don't think. but but my way of thinking about certain things, I'm sitting there going, okay, let me give you a rundown. Why don't somebody just do this? Okay, you know how you see your regular hot dog vendor, right? He's got them nasty old weenies in the water, right? Ugh. Nope. Now I've seen one with a grill, the flat grill. They just put them on there. Boom. no water, anything like that. Okay. Well, how about a third way? You're probably going, a third way? I I don't know any other way. Welcome to the future. Okay. So how about having an air fryer? Right? Very little grease. Very little grease. You will get some, but just it's very, 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 very small grease. Whatever. At least when I cook them, I usually I put them in for what is it, 375 degrees at 5 minutes, and I can cook I don't know, 4 or 5 at a time. So doing that, and then what I would also have is a one of those rollers, where you line them up in there, and it sits there and it rolls or whatever, and it keeps them warm, keeps them good, moist, and everything. Okay, and then uh, as far as the buns, I've heard of people steaming the buns. I've never tried that before, but maybe I could have some kind of steamer separate, like a little, open the door, you got all the buns in there, and it's a steamer. Okay. So all this stuff you can buy on Amazon, and you can buy it. Well, I want to say cheap, but it's not cheap, but it's a couple $100 a setup. So right there. So let's say you buy yourself, you either have one or two air fryers, right? And so, okay, so you got hardly any mess, right? And you could sit there and cook that thing all darn day. Now, how long will it last? An air fryer? I don't know. I tell you what, though, you put it to the test, though. Okay, we got this, nice looking industrial air fryer. My air fryer is the way to go, dude. I cook tons of stuff with my air fryer. Anything that I can, anything that I can fit in that thing. Chicken wings, that's one of them. Ham, ooh, I get me one of those blocked hams. The ones that it's already like pre-sliced or whatever. And you sit there, peel it off, throw that in there. Woo. And most of that stuff is, I believe it's 375 at 5 minutes. Most of it is. Okay. Put that in there. You can cook sausage in there. You can cook a steak in there. Anything. Now, don't cook shrimp in it unless you want to stink your house up. I did that once. I saw a video. This is how it happens. I saw a video. This chick, she's like, "Oh man, this is like the perfect air fryer shrimp." Da, da, da. I bet her house stunk. She seasoned it, threw them in there. Dude, I did the same thing. My house stunk for a week. It was so bad. If you're going to do that, just take it on the back porch or do something like that. But you're going to ruin your air fryer. So stay away from shrimp. If you cook shrimp, cook it in your frying pan. Do it that way. But anyway, a lot of people don't like shrimp. I've actually met people who don't like shrimp. Like, oh man, you're allergic? No, I just don't like it. Well, you're a weirdo. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. Just kidding. And some people just don't like it. Some people just don't like seafood at all. That's just, I don't know. That's just weird. But then again, I don't like coffee, so people call me weird. I like tea. I belong in England. We're Southerners. We grew up on sweet tea. Granny used to have us a pot of tea every day. We'd go through that thing. Like 3 cups of sugar. Boom. Lipton night. She had the actual bags and everything, man. I need to start doing that again. Man, that was so good. Yeah. Memories. Memories of grandma cooking in the kitchen. Man, that's the best. You can't get around that. That's just get out of here. Cooking up that soul food. All everything she touched turned to gold. It was great. You come home from school, and she'd have me a plate of peanut butter crackers and a big old glass of milk. Yeah, she was awesome. Anyway, love Granny. Love my granny. But yeah, if y'all ever, if anybody out there has ever thought about or has done a food truck or trailer or cart, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear, your story or whatever. Yeah, but I'm seriously, thinking about doing that. I probably should be going to the health department today to talk to them. Maybe I'll give a call, see if anybody answers. I don't even know where the health department is. Anyway, but yeah, you can make, if you get it going just right, you can make a lot of money. You gotta think about your overhead though. Think the thing is, think smart and think easy in how what you do with it. Like first thing is like, if you go to the health department, whatever, have a plan, have something, just be like, look, I want to start this food trailer, and I want to see about selling hot dogs or whatever, I want to do funnel cakes. Man, funnel cakes. I think I've had one before. They smell so good. But yeah, do something like that. Now that you probably do have to have a deep fryer and all that. But if you can get around having a deep fryer, that makes it so much better, right? So if you can get around, okay, let's see. So if I wanted to do hot dogs, you have an air fryer, okay? So you need electricity. So you need a generator, and you need a power. Well, a generator would have an inverter on it, so you're good. You're golden there, right? And then let's see. Oh, okay. So if you want to, I keep forgetting about this. If you want to watch a great video, there is a video of these two health inspectors. They're not in this state, but it might pertain to this state. But anyway, they show you how to set up underneath a one of those tents, like 10 by 10, pop up canopy things, and they show you how to, like, what you need. Very simple. You need a place to wash your hands. And I mean, it could be like just a jug of water that you turn on, stuff like that. Very, very simple, man. These people out here, okay, I can understand if these people out here, they have tons of money to play with, right? I don't, right? But these people out here, they got tons of money. So they're like, man, we're going to go all out. We're going to have like the best. We're going to have like this thing over here and this thing over here and this thing over here. We're going to have this $100,000 trailer, do it. Oh, we're going to be like the biggest, and we want to be the biggest and the baddest, man. And da 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 da. And you know what? That's fine. They can do that. I ain't like that. I just want to be that person that people go, hey man, you want something great to eat? Go to see Rome. He's got the hookup. He has got it right. Ain't nothing fancy or any crap like that or whatever. I have been to fancy food trucks and everything. You know what? A lot of them are nasty. So that's my 2 bits on that. I have not been impressed. The way they look, great. Yeah. Okay. Good, man. You put $100,000 in the truck. Cool. All right. I see that. Let me get that chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich looks great. Looks like something you can't buy anywhere but a food truck. Take one bite. Yeah. Nasty. Bland. Tastes like oil. Overcooked oil. Burnt oil. 10W30 out of an Aaron car after it's been going 3,000 miles or something like that. Anyway, that's happened to me, right? I've had now the taco trucks, great. Never had a bad one. Knock on wood. The Mexicans know how to cook, Hispanics, they are awesome. They know, they just know, they know how to do it, man. Their food's great. I love Tex-Mex. I learned that word, Tex-Mex. I learned that from a buddy of mine who's from Costa Rica, and he come down here. He's like, "This is Tex-Mex," and I'm like, "What?" It's like, it's Tex-Mex. It's not real, authentic Mexican food. Really? Okay. And then I'll go to Costa Rica, and then it's like, oh, that food's like way different. So yeah. But yeah. But I've had cheeseburgers. Most of the time I've had cheeseburgers and chicken sandwich, and they're all nasty. The burgers are way too big. The thick burgers, stuff like that, way too big. They are. Did you ever see that movie? Good Burger. So it's basically like that. So if you've never seen that movie, you got two competing burger companies, one's across the street from the other or something like that. Anyway, the evil burger company has these burgers that are like they're huge. They're super thick or whatever. Keep this in mind. Less is more. That's what I try to teach people. Less is more. It is. Dude, I make great smash burgers. So good. They're super thin. They're like literally like a 1/4 inch thick, and they're wide. They're like, but so good. Now I usually I like to cook them in my frying pan. I got one of my old cast iron frying pans. I have cooked them in the air fryer. The only thing about an air fryer is all the juices fall down through the cracks, through the grate. Whereas a frying pan, it just stays right there. But I love them. I'll take a cheeseburger, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, mix it up with chipotle sauce and some ranch. Boom. If you want to get nasty, put some chili on there. Isn't it funny how the messier the burger is, the better it is? You ever seen that? Yeah. Just mash it. Be a man. I saw that guy. Eat your burger how you want it. Be a man. Oh God. Oh, that guy's funny. Anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, you've seen him before. You probably have. It was really great. Well, anyway, I think we're gonna cut it there. I appreciate everybody tuning in, having a good laugh with me, and I'll see y'all on the flip flop. All right. Thanks for watching Broke TV 123. I'm your host, Rome. See ya.